video right here is about ascending to your higher self after you've activated the chakras. My last video was about chakra activation, titled chakra activation. Now let's just assume that the chakras are activated, you have a healthy alkaline diet, and you are reascending to godhood. What you have to do now for the final step to activating godhood is to reestablish the correct understanding you have with your body. Now, this number one, like classroom 101 introduction to this understanding is to understand you are not your body. So to understand that is how you get back to your higher self, because you understand you are the overviewer of the physical realm. You use this body as basically a suit to create any reality that you wish to experience while temporarily here on this realm. Now, getting to the point, the body is important because the Caucasian has used religion to reverse the mental paradigm and understanding of who you are. He has taken knowledge of self from the self and made you worship your higher self from a subjective point of view, instead of you being the higher self and subjugating the physical realm to your scrutiny. Now, with that being said, before I go into it, I got to give you the science. When they say, oh, they took that religion and they took everything from the slaves, black people, African people, we didn't create religion. But just using the word religion, just to use it. Okay, let's say we had a religion or a belief system. They never tell you what belief system the black African people had, because if they tell you, they would have to by default acknowledge that we looked at ourselves as supreme beings, gods and goddesses. So why is it important? You can't enslave someone who thinks they're a god, because they won't allow you to mistreat them because they'll think they're royalty. So this is the whole point of the Caucasian taking away our concept, which is directly internally towards ourselves as gods and goddesses. He took that away and then gave us an external God and said there is not many gods, there is only but one God, Jesus Christ, the true Lord and Savior. And if you don't follow him, you'll be damned to hell for all of eternity. Christians to this day will still tell you you're not a God, you think you're a God, and there's only one God. They're still under the slave master's programming. But the point I'm trying to make is this programming switched the way we viewed ourselves. When we viewed ourselves as the Most High, we understand that we were not these physical bodies. We were extensions of the Creator, taking a seat inside these melanated vehicles and basically driving them around the planet Earth, having a physical experience. But when the Caucasian took that understanding and gave us his earthly understanding, then we became these physical shells, meaning we believed that we were these bodies and that we were trying to get back to the Creator, when actually we are extensions coming from the Creator to have an experience, not physical subjects trying to get somewhere where we're already from. So now, with this understanding, you have to understand your relationship with your body is the key to activating the chakras. Why? Because a lot of us think that we are this body. For example, just listen, y'all, use your understanding. You are the soul inside of this body. This body runs on its own intellectual accord. The stomach is a brain for the body. Your large intestine is actually the body's brain. This is why your large intestine actually looks like your brain. You can go on Google right now and type in large intestine images and then hit brain images, and they look damn near the same. This is why they say go with your gut feeling, because your body has its own intelligence. Your large intestine is actually the brain for your physical body. It helps your body to navigate on the physical realm. This is why you can go into a room, and if something's bad, you get a gut feeling. You get butterflies in your stomach. It's your body telling you that something in this room can be potentially harmful to it on this physical scale. So once again, your stomach is actually intelligent. This is why your third chakra, which is yellow, your third chakra, the yellow chakra, actually has to do with intelligence. Go look it up. This is why they say go with your gut feeling. Go with your first instinct, your stomach, your instinct, because this is your intestines is the brain to the physical body. Now, why is this important? Because you feed your ethereal mind knowledge and information in order for you to be healthy. You need to feed your physical body alkaline foods and fruits and vegetables in order for your stomach brain to be healthy. Now, why is this important? Because since we can establish that we are not the body, we can establish that this body is actually like a living entity. So I always say that, okay, your body is like your vehicle, and you can either get in or get out. Well, let's just say this vehicle is like a transformer, meaning the next person's car is not alive. This car is alive and actually can operate from its own accord. For example, you don't tell yourself to breathe when you sleep. You sleep. When you astral project, you out the body, but the body's still breathing. The body's still operating because the body is alive from its own accord for a certain extent, not fully. In fact, let me rephrase that. The body is powered and has its own intelligence, but is not operable outside of you. So you have the last say-so of the body, but the body has its own feelings as well. So now why is this important? Because we have to reestablish a healthy relationship with our body. Ourselves don't even trust our own selves. Now what do I mean by this? If you're in an abusive relationship, or you see children do it, a child who get whooped all the time, as soon as the parent do something, or they flinch at the child, or they raise a hand, the child jump, or flinch or try to cover. The child not even doing this consciously. The body is doing this to protect itself. Why? Because the body does not have a good relationship with its controller, which is you, or its environment anymore. The body has become accustomed to abuse so much that it has now created an automated defense in order to protect itself. Now, why is this important? Because the body no longer trusts you to do that for you. So now it is now acting unconsciously without your control. So now the body is now out of control. And this is where self-discipline comes from, or control yourself comes in, because you have all self-discipline is, and self-control is actually reestablishing a bond between the spirit and the body, to where the body now only moves on your command, not on its own command. So you can tell people who don't have good relationships with their body, we call this bad nerves, or things like that, because we've been through so much physical trauma that the body now is trying to defend itself, because we are unintelligently putting ourselves in harmful situations. So now the body is saying, I just gotta defend myself now, because the driver of me is no longer operating me in a healthy manner. So now you see people do things like I said, flinch, jump. The body won't, if I tell somebody right now, do a backflip, the average person gonna think, I'm gonna break my neck. Even if they actually try to do it, they're gonna stiffen up, because their body does not trust them to perform that action, because they've done so many untrustworthy things with their body that the body does not flow no more along with the mind. So now why is this important? Because we actually are now, due to fear and the ego, listening to the body instead of the body listening to us. For example, when you're hungry, you're not hungry, you're the spirit. The spirit don't get hungry. So how are you technically hungry? The body is hungry. Hunger in your stomach is just a warning signal to let you know that the body needs to be fed. So now what does this mean? Due to us, let's say if we're greedy and we're overweight, or we eat a lot, technically the body doesn't need to be fed. We need to be fasting so that it can feed off itself. But what do? We submit to satisfaction. We become slaves to satisfaction, aka physical pleasure. We actually live our lives according to what will pleasure the flesh or pleasure the body, because we have allowed the body to override the mind. We have allowed the physical realm to override the mental and spiritual realm. And so now we use our mental and spiritual powers to feed the flesh, when it's supposed to be the flesh using its power to feed the mind. So what is this? What am I saying? If you hungry, let's just say, if you need to eat or not. So without being immature, let's say if you're a person who's trying to lose weight, you understand you have more than enough body fat for you to fast and for your body to feed off itself for you to lose weight. So now if you submit to that hunger, only thing you did was tell your body that every time you try to tell me that you crave something, I'm going to give it to you. If every time you feel like I'm horny and I want to have sex, and you act on that act every time, only thing you telling the body is every time you seek sexual pleasure, I'm going to give it to you. So now you're training the body that to basically give you certain warnings or impulses in order to receive what it wants. So now you are now living for something that you're supposed to be in control of, which is the body. Now you have to reverse this order and reestablish a connection with your body. Why? Because you have to teach the body to live for you. Now what do I mean by this? The average person ain't breaking no brick on their head. But now I like to say, you see ninjas, or you see Buddhist monks, or whoever you want to idolize or deem this type of person, you see these people breaking bricks on their head, bending metal steel poles with their neck. Why? Because they are controlling the body. They don't submit to the flesh. They make the flesh submit to them. So when you master the flesh, what you have done is you make the body now upgrade to fit your needs instead of you fitting its needs. So now once you eliminate the fear of hurting the body, and you understand you are not the body, then the body now upgrades to fit whatever it is mentally you want it to do. So right now, if I try to slap somebody right now with, let's say, a wooden 2x4, their mind is going to be on the body. They're going to be thinking, oh, you're about to hit me with that stick. And now the body's going to be scared and is going to embrace the stick negatively. And in their body, which is actually, the bones are harder than the stick, the bones are going to break before the stick, because they mentally are serving the body, and the body is scared because it's not supposed to be in control anyway. But now let's say if I try to slap a Buddhist monk with a 2x4, the Buddhist monk already understands. It doesn't have he or she doesn't have an understanding of you're finna hit me with the stick. Their understanding is I am not this body. You are swinging a physical object at another physical object that I am in control of, but I have trained this physical object to embrace any and all adversities. So now, due to their discipline and their training and their higher mental elevation, instead of the body submitting to the physical realm, their body is going to overcome the physical realm due to it being under the control of their mind. And instead of the bones breaking of the 2x4, the 2x4 is going to break instead of the body, because the body is serving the mind. Now, instead of the mind serving the body. So now we have to reestablish a correct understanding with our physical selves, to understand that the body is alive from its own accord, and how you treat it is how it's going to treat you. If you keep putting yourself in negative situations, then the body is going to stop listening to you. Straight like that. It's going to start acting on its own accord. You're going to be jumping. You're going to have bad nerves. And you don't meditate, so you're never going to calm the body or give it a chance to recenter itself. So you just got it running on overload all day, every day. If you feed the body bad foods, then the intelligence of the body is going to be bad. The reaction time of the body is going to be bad. The agility of the body is going to be bad. It's not going to be able to suit you as best as you need it to. So I always tell people, use an analogy. You're Tony Stark. You're not Iron Man. Iron Man is just a suit. You're the soul. You're Tony Stark. You're not the body. You're not the Iron Man. This is just a suit. So now if Tony Stark start breaking his suit down and feeding his suit cupcakes, it's not going to fly around like how Iron Man's supposed to be. If we keep destroying our bodies with the incorrect mentality and perception and being a slave to the body, as well as feeding the body negative things, as well as not meditating, then how the fuck is our Iron Man supposed to be Iron Man and do what it do? How are you supposed to ever reach godhood if you don't actually conceive who you are and force the body to follow that? Most of us right now don't want to work out. Let alone, let me tell a motherfucker, let's go do some 2-finger push-ups. I'm not doing that. I'm going to break my motherfucking hand. Your mind is already serving the body's fear. You're not making the body serve the mind. If I tell somebody right now, let's go do an extensive training program. Let's go train with some ninjas. Oh, I don't want to do that, but that's you crazy. You talking crazy. That's crazy shit. Because your mind and perception has been twisted by the Caucasians' perception of reality, and this is the last step to unlocking your godhood. So unless we get back to that ancient realm of training and making the body become subjective to the mind and overcoming the fear that the ego in the body creates in order to lose the control that it has over you, you will never ascend back to godhood. So the message to this is, after you clean up your diet, after you activate the chakras, you have to activate your understanding with the body, and actually that will be the last step, I can say, to truly attaining back to black godhood. So eating the alkaline diet to purge our bodies from all diseases. Activating the chakras to allow the energy to flow throughout the body for us to perform these feats and prepare ourselves to become the controllers once again of the physical realm. And the last step is, now that you prepared yourself to take over the physical realm, actually take over the physical realm, starting with your own physical self and mastering your body and forcing your body to upgrade itself to meet any and all physical adversities that can be possible for its experience while you are in it during this lifetime. And with that being said, family, overcome the ego, overcome the fear, and take these steps internally back to ascending on our godly